Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's card making video, I'm going to be showing you how to create these gorgeous 3D paper flowers using the brand new collection from Spellbinders. I'm going to be using the Poetic Foliage dies and the Primrose dies today. These are part of the new Serenity Garden collection by Susan Tierney Cockburn, and these dies create the most beautiful flowers and foliage to add to your cards. So I'm going to be demonstrating today how to use the Primrose dies, and I'm going to be showing you how I coloured them up first of all, and then how I shaped them into flowers. So I'm just using a sticky mat in my stamping platform. This is the Waffle Flower Grip Mat. I've got the two Primrose dies pre-cut out there, and I'm going to be using my Gina Designs ink cubes. That's what I've coloured all my flowers with so far, and I just find them really easy to use. You can of course use alcohol markers, watercolours, coloured pencils or coloured cardstock, whatever you prefer. So I'm just going to pick out a couple of ink cubes here. I've got these stored in the Pinkfresh Studio ink cube storage holder. I'm absolutely loving this. I was able to take it out in the garden with me the other evening and do some ink blending. It's really portable, and I knew I'd got all my ink cubes there, so it was a great way of being able to still do a little bit of crafting outside. So first of all, I'm just going to add some wild dandelion to the centres of these petals. So each primrose has got two of these layers together, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that wild dandelion there. I'm using the Waffle Flower double-ended blending brushes. These are really handy to have in your stash. I love the fact that they're double-ended, so I use one end for a light colour and one end for a dark colour, and they work really well. For the flower centre, I'm using Prickly Pear, and you want to make sure to ink blend on both sides of the cardstock so that nothing's visible. You don't want any white card visible when the flowers are made together. You'll see that I forget to do that on these flowers in a moment, but we'll come back and sort that out. I'm just using Petunia to add pink to the edges of the petals, and I'm blending it a little bit with the wild dandelion, but not too much. I don't want to lose that yellow centre. You can always add a little bit more yellow as well if you need to. So I'm just going to clean off my sticky mat with some water and a microfiber cloth, and then I can pop that away. So a couple of handy tools to have when you're shaping flowers is a shaping tool, a pair of reverse tweezers and a foam pad. These are from Sizzix, but I know Spellbinders sell something very similar. They've got their own line of products. And all I'm doing here is just using that ball end of the tool to add some shape to the edges of the petals. And then I'm doing circular motions in the centre. And you'll see that the cardstock naturally curls up. By the way, the cardstock that I'm using today is just some smooth white cardstock from Pink Frog Crafts. That's a company in the UK. So I just found that a really good quality smooth white cardstock was absolutely fine to create my flowers. It is 300 GSM as well. So it's at this point I realised I needed to do the back of the flowers here because I'd forgotten. I'm not worried about the very centre because obviously when that's glued down you're not going to see it. But I do want to make sure that the petals are pink both sides. When you've shaped them, you can then glue them together. So I've just used a dot of Barley Arts glue in the middle, and I'm just making sure that they're lined up nicely so that there's no gaps around the edge of the flower. I'm then using the ball tool to press them together to give them some shape, and I'm going to repeat that process on the other two flowers that I'd already made off camera. So again, just a dot of glue, and then use that shaping tool to just make sure that the flowers have got a lot of shape and they naturally will curl round then. There are more tools that you can buy from Spellbinders to help you with flower shaping. So if it's something that you really enjoy, then it may be worth looking at the extra tools. But if you're like me and this is just something that you occasionally do, I just find having these basic tools really helpful. So for the centre of the primrose flower, you just want to curl that round the tweezers. I'm then just going to add a dot of glue just to glue that together so that it doesn't unravel. And then I'm just going to hold that in place until the glue's grabbed. It just takes a moment to dry. Then I can slide it off the reverse tweezers, and then I'm going to stick it into the centre of the flower. And again, I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the centre of the flower, and then I'm going to carefully place that in. Again, it's helpful here to use the reverse tweezers just to hold it in place just for a moment until the glue's grabbed, and then you can set it to one side to dry. You could use hot glue if you prefer, but a little dab of liquid glue here is all that you really need. Hot glue sometimes can be a little bit messy and it's difficult to control a small amount of glue. So I just find using liquid glue like the Barley Arts that's got that fine tip adapter It makes it really easy to then just apply a small amount of glue. And you can see there our flowers coming together really nicely. I think they look really realistic, really easy to put together, and they make a great focal point on a card. So I'd already ink blended some of the foliage off camera, but I am just going to show you how I added the berries. So these are some enamel dots that I had in my stash. They're some older ones from Funky Fossil Designs, and they weren't the right colour. So what I did was I took an alcohol marker and I coloured over the blue with a red alcohol marker. So you get this really deep burgundy colour. Again, this will depend on the colour of your enamel dots to begin with as to how they'll turn out. So particularly this would work better with lighter colours. So if you had got some really pale blue enamel dots, then colouring over it with a red pen would definitely make them look a little bit brighter. But this is just a great way of using up those enamel dots where maybe they're in a colour that you wouldn't necessarily use. Then use your alcohol pens, colour over it, and then you've got a custom colour for your project. So I'm just sticking these all over the areas on the stem, and you can see here now we've got quite a realistic looking stem of berries to add to our foliage. So to put the card together, I've got a piece of Petunia cardstock from Gina Designs, measuring 4¼ by 5½ inches. I've used the nested postage dies to cut a white layer that's slightly smaller, and then I'm going to use the Ode to a Poet embossing folder for the white cardstock and the Puffy Hearts embossing folder for the Petunia cardstock. Now, this Ode to a Poet embossing folder is absolutely stunning. It's got so much detail on it, and it's so versatile because you can just pick out bits that you want to use. But you can see there, the detail is just gorgeous. You've got some letters, some foliage, some frames, really, really pretty. I'm just going to emboss the pink cardstock with a Puffy Hearts embossing folder as well. This is another one of my favourite embossing folders. It just looks absolutely stunning when it's embossed. And it really does look puffy. It really gives you that 3D effect. So you can just see that on camera now. It does look like little cushions or pillows of hearts, and both sides are equally usable. So that's going to be our background anyway. I'm just going to use a standard A2 top folding card blank here, and because I'd already cut the pink cardstock to size beforehand, it is slightly smaller now because obviously the embossing folder has changed the size of it a little bit. If you wanted to make sure it was exact, then just make the cardstock a bit bigger before you emboss it, and then you can trim the embossed panel down. But I'm just going to trim the edge of that card base off. It's only a few mil, so it's not really an issue at all. It's maybe not even 1/8 of an inch. I'm then going to add some foam tape to the back of the nested postage embossed panel that we've created, and that's just going to give it a little bit of dimension. It's also going to mean that when the foliage overhangs, it's going to just help with the card, bring it all together. Having that dimension just really helps to step the card up a little bit as well. And of course, if you don't have any foam tape, then you can just use strips and scraps of white cardstock, lay them together and use that to give it some dimension behind the panel as well. So I'm just going to layer up my elements now onto the card base. I decided to use some Nouveau Deluxe glue, which I've got in my stash. It just dries a bit quicker than the Burley Arts and it grabs straight away. So there's not really a lot of wiggle room, but I just find it a little bit easier when you're sticking 3D elements down, especially with the flowers. It just holds them in place a little bit quicker. I did need to just hold those in place for a few moments though, because I want them to be all squished together like a real primrose would look. So that just took a moment. And then again, I'm just going to glue all of the foliage down now. When you're gluing elements like this, you don't need to add glue to the whole piece of cardstock. You just really want it to be held in place on the card. And it gives it a little bit of movement, a little bit of extra interest as well when they're not all fully stuck down. It also stops the card from looking too flat. So once they're all stuck down, I've got a few spare leaves that I can save for another project, but I'm going to add a sentiment, and I'm going to use the Layered Get Well Soon sentiment die from the Essentially Yours collection from Spellbinders. I've layered 3 pieces of white cardstock together and a silver layer on the top, and then I'm just using some Burley Arts glue to stick that down onto my card. I've trapped a little bit of the foliage underneath it as well intentionally, and then I'm going to add a few little clear dewdrops just to finish the card off. So I really hope that you've enjoyed seeing this card come together. I really enjoyed creating these flowers. I'm definitely going to be creating some more off camera. I find it quite relaxing just to colour the flowers, shape the flowers, and I just think they make the card look really beautiful when it's finished. As always, all the products that I've used today will be listed in the description box below. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget that you can hype the video as well. It really helps small content creators out like myself. Leave me a comment, let me know if you enjoy creating 3D flowers or if it's something you're yet to try, and whether you'd give it a go after watching this tutorial. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Take care.